Okay. Thank you guys all for hopping on the call tonight. And I actually have some slides, so I'm going to try to go ahead and share those if I can remember how to do that. How do I do that? Oh, share screen. I see it now. The big green button. Okay. And then mine says loading, so hopefully it doesn't take that much longer to load. Can you guys see it, or is it just me that says loading? Oh, there it goes. Okay.
It still says loading on our end. Oh, there it is.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this I wanted to share with you what I was going to talk about tonight. And so the first thing is I'm just going to go over some announcements that they talked about at Summit. And so if you guys were there or if you watched that first live stream, some of this is probably review for you. And then the second thing I want to do is share some takeaways that I've had, and then also open it up to any of you. If you have a takeaway that you want to share, I would love to hear that also. And then end with kind of a like where to go from here, because I know we all come back from Summit, we have so much momentum, and kind of what can we do with that. So first of all, I'm sure all of you know this, but at Summit Country Heat was released and is available now, and all of this month it will be on sale for $140 in a challenge.
Are you ready?
If you are not muted, if you can go ahead and mute yourself just so that everybody can hear. I can't do it because you're muted. It's not a dance problem. There's no hard choreography. Me and my kids have been doing it. They are really enjoying it, and even if you're not super into country music, it was pretty fun actually. The workouts are 30 minutes or less, and it's cardio. So anybody that likes dance type programs might enjoy it, and it comes with the containers. So it's really a good value actually at $140. Also at Summit, they announced that they're going to start a new cooking show on Beachbody On Demand, and I was actually really excited by how many things they were adding to Beachbody On Demand to make it even better value than it is. And this is the thing I'm probably the most excited about, because these are the kind of questions I feel like I get a lot. Like, what can I eat? What should I have? And they're going to actually cook really high quality meals on the show and teach you how to do it. And then they also announced this, that they're going to have a new reality TV show where they will be searching for the next celebrity trainer that will create another program. So I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, if you could mute whoever is not mute yourself, that would be great. I don't echo. But I think it's really cool because there's so much, available like on Netflix and Hulu and things like that. And so I feel like the company is really trying to make Beachbody competitive with that, with having a reality show and having more than just the workouts, having the cooking show. So it's pretty fun stuff. And then also coming to Beachbody On Demand, they're going to have this new 3-week yoga program that lasts 21 days. The workouts are 30 minutes or less. And if you have Beachbody On Demand, you have access to that, which I think is pretty cool, because right now I didn't feel like we really had a yoga program, and aside from PiYo, which is advertised as not yoga. So that's pretty cool. Another thing they announced at Summit was Beachbody Health Bet. And basically how that's going to work is anyone who participates in a challenge group through the My Challenge Tracker app between September 5th and October 2nd, and you check in every week. So you have to check in 3 workouts every week and 5 Shakeologies every week, plus post a photo of your Shakeology with your tracked activity. When you do those things, you will be able to win a share of the cash pot. And this was, I thought, a really cool thing. Beachbody is going to start the pot with $1 million. So anybody who actually completes those things, 3 workouts and 5 Shakeologies a week for 4 weeks, will get a check in the mail from Beachbody. And then for every challenge pack that is sold, I think it's during August, every challenge pack that's sold, they will also be adding another $5 to that pot. And so not only are you getting people to work out to do Shakeology to remember to track that. But then at the end, they also get a check in the mail. So that's pretty fun. And then in November, we're going to have a new workout program coming from Joel and Jericho. They are the trainers who did the Les Mills program. And now they've created a similar program exclusively for Beachbody called Core to Force. And it will be launching in November. It'll be mixed martial arts inspired and 30 to 45 minute workouts, a 30-day program. So that is really exciting because we lost the Les Mills programs. So this will replace that in our lineup. And this is super exciting. In September, there will be a Coach Online Office mobile app. And it's not going to have all of the functionality that the regular office has. Like, it won't have the sponsorship drill down report, but a lot of what we check in our office will now be available in an app. And from what they were talking about in the presentation, it sounds like it's also going to be a lot more user-friendly, because right now there's a lot of information in the office online that is not user-friendly, and this will allow you to access some of those trainings and videos and different things like that a lot easier. So I'm very excited about that. And I know a lot of us work our business from our cell phones, and it's hard to view that Coach mobile website right now with just your phone. So exciting. All right, so that was just some of the announcements that I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to move through that really quick because you can get all that information in your office, and then move into this part, which is I really want to talk about some tips and some takeaways that we all had from Summit. And so I'm going to actually leave the screen presentation so that I can see your faces while we're sharing this, and then I'll start, and then anybody else who wants to share some of their takeaways, that will be awesome. Okay, so for me, I have some notes, but I did not want to go to Summit this year, and I'm just being like totally real and honest with you here. I was feeling kind of burnt out. I've been a coach for 4.5 years. I've been I've hit Success Club now 53 months in a row, and that is a long time. And I was feeling super, super burnt out, and I didn't want to go to Summit at all. But I went anyhow, and this is why, because I know the power of being at an event, because I have never once missed a Beachbody event. I have been at every Summit, every Platinum Edge, if I have qualified for it, I was there. And so I went anyway. And I'm so glad that I did, because I felt like everything that I needed to hear to return the joy that I have about this business, I heard it this last weekend. And so it was really exciting for me. And so I have 4 or 5 takeaways that I want to share, and that was kind of limiting myself so that hopefully other people will have, I won't take everybody's things. But the first thing that I felt like I just heard over and over and over was work harder. Like, you're not working hard enough. And I heard that from Gary Vee. I heard that from Melanie Mitro. And if you weren't at Summit, then you need to just go to YouTube and search Coach Summit 2016, Melanie Mitro, Coach Summit 2016, Gary Vee, and listen to their messages, because I'll tell you, just like Gary Vee said, 99% of us are not working this business hard enough to achieve the goals we want to achieve. And the first Summit I went to, which was 5 years ago, the theme of Summit was Dream Big. And I feel like I did that. And that has been a consistent theme with Beachbody. Dream big. You can achieve anything. You can achieve anything. And we don't always talk about the amount of work that we actually need to put in to achieve those big goals. So we can do big things. We can do hard things, but we actually have to work hard too, and not just dream about it, and not just make a vision board and say, this is what I'm going to do, and then expect it to magically happen. You have to say, this is what I'm going to do, and then you have to sit down and actually keep going and actually put in the work. But the second thing to go along with that is that the work can be fun. Like, it doesn't have to be terrible. And I think that was part of my problem, is I'm like, I'm not having fun anymore. And then I realized that I wasn't letting myself have fun. I wasn't really being me, and I wasn't being true to myself. And I felt like this weekend I kind of got permission to just be me. And one of the things that Shaun T said is that you need to go back in your journey and see kind of the thing that's stopping you, and then share that with people. And so that's what I've been trying to do. And for me, that's been like, I feel like I have to present this image of like, this is what coaching is, and I've been doing this for a long time, so I better have all my stuff fixed, right? Like, if I've been coaching for 5 years and I don't have my stuff together, then why do you want to do it with me? But people can't relate to that, and it's hard to keep that up. And so I just decided, you know what, never mind. I'm just going to be who I am. And if people don't want to accept that, then I don't really need them anyhow. Like, I was telling Matt this, I think there's only a tiny, tiny fraction of people who actually know me and who I actually am. And that's horrible, because I'm actually a pretty cool person when I let my guard down and like, am just myself. But instead, I feel like I have to present this, you know, great person. So anyways, the work can be fun, and just have fun doing what you're doing and be who you are, because you know, anybody else can present this perfect thing, but not everybody can share the struggles that you're dealing with and be able to relate to you. So example of that, today I did a video of me opening my elite picture and the kids doing it with me, and I mean, they were like out of control, guys, like running into my picture, and I'm a little embarrassed, but that's my real life. And so previously I would have recorded that, and then when it didn't go exactly right, I would have deleted it, and I would have said, okay, we have to do this again, and this time don't be crazy, Matthew, you can't be jumping up and down with the dog. And you know, we would have tried again, and then finally I would have posted something. And instead I just was like, okay, well, this is my family, and I think people can relate to that, because other people have crazy kids too. They don't have perfect kids. So and my third takeaway is we need to kind of go back to our roots and focus on helping people get really good results, and pick a program that this is what I'm going to do. This is my commitment to being a product of the product, and then I'm going to help people be a product of the product, and not right now. I feel like in the business, and this is partly, I think, because of what has been emphasized with corporate, but a lot of focus on the business and be an elite coach and do this and grow your business, grow your team. But that's not why the company was started. The company was started to help in the trend of obesity. So that needs to be our first focus. And then when you're able to do that, then you can introduce the business. But I know for myself, especially, I have been leading with the business and not with the product. And so that's something that my takeaway, I need to change. I need to lead with the product. And and let's see. And my fourth takeaway was Facebook Live, which I haven't been doing. And I'm not going to lie, guys, that scares me. Like, I did not want to do it. And all weekend I was resisting that. I was like, I don't want to do Facebook Live. I can just keep doing what I'm doing because it's fine. And I don't know, maybe it was just like the sheer quantity of times that I heard people say, you need to be doing Facebook Live, that finally by the end of the weekend, I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm just going to do it. And so I did my first Facebook Live on Monday, which had over like almost 1,000 views, which is crazy to me, because I don't think any of my posts get that kind of traction, like at all. And I had a lot more comments than I normally get. And then I did another one of my kids working out, got like 600 views. Again, like my stuff hasn't been getting traction like that. So I'm sold. Like, I'm going to be trying to do one Facebook Live video a day about something. And they're not all going to be Beachbody. One of the things that I'm going to start doing every Monday is like a series called Monday Morning Confessions, where I tell people something that I've previously not shared about myself, like in the interest of trying to be real and connect with people. I had that idea and I really liked it, so I started making a list of all the things I could share during that. And I got like 40 things already. I need to do this more than once a week or something, because I've got so many things that I'm like, this will be funny, and it's so true, and that's really me and who I am. So that's another thing that I'm going to be trying to do. And then my last thing that I just want to say is that you need to be at the next event. Like, no matter what, you need to decide, if you are in this business and you are dreaming big and you are going to work harder, you just have to make sure to be at the next event no matter what. Don't miss a single event. Like I said, I've never missed one event. And I think it's really important, because there's all these moments that I had, all these takeaways. I can listen to somebody's call, you know, after the event, but I'm not going to get, like, their takeaways might not have been the message that I needed to hear. I was able to go and I heard everything that I needed to hear to be renewed in my business. So that is what I have. And then now, if any of you want to unmute yourself and share what your biggest takeaways are, that'd be awesome.
I'll share something. Amy, I loved your takeaways the whole time. I was like, yes, those were all takeaways I had too. And one to add to your list that that you started is something that really stuck out to me that I forgot who said it. It was one of the presenters, but they were saying we don't talk about how hard it is to be a coach.
Yeah.
And not that we need to always be talking about how hard it is to be a coach or anything, but just to sometimes, like every now and then, talk about it and talk about it publicly so people know that. So you're not promoting the business and promoting this dream world where Beachbody coaching is just so amazing, which it is, but that it's easy because you're going to keep attracting people who think it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
And then when it's hard, they give up because they're like, well, I thought this was going to be easy. I didn't think it was going to be actual work. So just to kind of talk about that, and it really just got my wheels turning a little bit, like, okay, what are some things that, we could say just to, think about on your own? Like, what are some things you could say that would portray the reality of what we do as coaches, but not be complaining about it, just be like, this is a very rewarding business. But it takes a lot of work, and we're really helping people, but not easy all the time, and it's a lot of fun, but we have to work really hard at it, and we have to deal with a lot of rejection too, so just the different things about what we do that's actually hard, and to not be afraid to talk about that every now and then. I just keep thinking about that now, and it just gets me thinking, like, okay, I need to think of some ways to talk about that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Awesome.
I'll totally go. I think one of my biggest takeaways from Summit is don't be afraid to try new things and be open-minded to do things that, well, like you said, Amy, with Facebook Live. Like for me, it was Snapchat. I was totally the Snapchat hater. But I think everybody has to do something new, try something new, because like for me, like my business was kind of stagnant because my challenge groups weren't going very good. Things weren't going good. And I was the one to blame. So it's just not being afraid to try new things instead of just continuing the old things that might not be working. And the second thing I loved when Carl was talking about how we're all CEOs and being a CEO is brutal. But at the end of the day, our business rides on our shoulders. And if we have customers that are unhappy or coaches who are unhappy or this or that, it all starts and stops with us. So we have to be more accountable and step up and say, this is my thing, and take responsibility if things aren't going well and make corrections.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share? I know a lot more of you were at Summit.
I'll share. I had something from Gary Vee that he said was about you won't have any success if you don't have patience. So I know myself, I got like rushed in the beginning. I think my year as a coach will be on the 12th this month. So at first it was like, I was like, oh, I got to hit diamond in this amount of time, and I got to hit 2-star in this amount of time. But I wasn't doing all the right things to get there. So I just had patience with it and realized that this business, Danielle Hogel has said it 1,000 times, that, you've got to stay consistent. You've got to keep going and keep pushing. And another thing he said that kind of coexists with this is don't complain, adjust. And just if something's not working and you're doing it the same way and it's still not working for you, then you need to adjust and you need to fix it and try and look at it from a different point of view. What does that person need? They don't need the same thing that you do. So you need to find out what they need more and just adjust to that. And and if it's your business, then figure it out. Don't rely on your upline. Don't rely on your sponsor. Don't rely on your success partner to give you the answers, all the answers. If you really want to know something, then that's what Google was invented for.
Well, if you're going to be patient and you're going to be here for the long haul, you're going to have to adjust. Like what worked for me 5 years ago is not what's working for me anymore. You can't just say, okay, well, I learned this and now I'm going to go. You have to stay in the trenches. You have to keep doing the work, or you're not going to be able to teach your people what's working. You're not going to be able to move your business forward. So, no matter what, you are going to have to adjust if you're looking at this as like something long-term, that you're going to be around long-term.
one thing that I took away from it was before, yes, Success Club is non-negotiable, push for that every month, but I was pushing for that so that I could say I hit Success Club. And since I've got back from Summit, I've shifted towards not jumping right into inviting someone. I don't remember who said it, but in one of the workshops, they said if you can't identify the exact way that your prospect will benefit from a challenge pack or the business opportunity, then it's too soon to invite them. And so I've been focusing on that and just putting my belief in that if every single day I make connections with people, I add value to their life. I have hopped on the phone with people since I've gotten back from Summit to discuss their goals before even talking to them about what I have to offer, to see if I have anything to offer to them. And that's not something I even thought about doing before Summit. So taking it off of hit Success Club for the numbers and rather just do the vital behaviors and build the relationships and believe that that will get you to Success Club every month.
I love that. Does anybody else want to share?
I have some.
Hey.
Oh,
Who's on there?
me.
Katria and Melanie. Who wants to go
Good.
first?
Katria, you go first. I'll go next.
Okay. You guys have taken all of the ones I was thinking of, but one visual that I really liked was Shanti mentioned, like, what if you live in a glass house and everyone can see what you're doing? And I kind of combine that with other things that people have said over Summit too, like, are you challenging yourself in the 4 vital behaviors? Are you pushing yourself in fitness? And that kind of got me because sometimes I like check the box. Yeah, I invited somebody, but really I just sent them a, hey girl, how are you doing? Like, that's not inviting. And it just, you really have to push yourself to invite more and focus on the 4 vital behaviors, and do the hard work, like Gary Vee said. And I like how he said patience is the #1 reason people lose at this business. And this was my 4th summit, and I can tell you 100% the only reason why I'm successful is because I've been to those 4 summits, and I haven't even done my best yet. Like, that is just made me taken me to where I am today. I think that's all I got for now.
Hey, it's Melanie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is the first time on my computer. I usually do this from my phone. So I think my biggest takeaway was I'm a chronic coach. Amanda, you were in that thing with me. And I'm so worried about helping my challengers, because that's what I do for a living, reach their goals where every time they text me, whether it's 9 a.m., 2 a.m., I respond right away. And I'm completely scattered and can't take the business side because I'm just frantic. I'm all over the place. So being a CEO and setting those hours, setting those schedules, setting those times, and from the beginning, building people, like, you can't text me at 2 a.m. and expect me to respond in 10 minutes. And starting that from the beginning, because if I take them 6 months and I act like that, and then all of a sudden I stop doing that, then now there's a problem because I'm trying to make that transition and they feel neglected. So that's the biggest takeaway, was seeing all of you, like Amy and Katria, all of you who are so successful, you seem to have a system and a plan of when you do that kind of stuff. And even when I was listening in all those meetings and stuff. So that's my biggest takeaway for sure.
Yeah, I love it. Does anybody else want to share?
I'm a little late to this meeting, so I don't know what all has been shared. But something that really spoke to me is about, like, being honest about who you are. And I feel like I share a lot about some of the struggles I've been through. But I got brave and I did this live video, and it just was really an eye-opener because someone in my own family had went through the same thing I had went to, but she hadn't been open about it. And she was like, I went through PCOS for 30 years until I had to give up. And so, I really like that you're speaking up about it. So it just when you are who you are, you find a lot more people, and that just, I didn't expect it.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing is when you are who you are, you find people who actually get you. It actually is your driver. And we're not all going to attract the same people, which is such a cool thing about this business. And then we end up with like, this is what I was saying to Matt, like if I am just myself, then I can find like all my new best friends who actually get me and think I'm funny. Like a lot of people don't get me, and that's cool. You don't have to. But hey, what if I was just me? And then people that were like me were like, hey, I love her. We're just the same. How cool would that be? Like, it's like, I'm not searching for coaches anymore. I'm searching for new best friends. It's cool. Okay, Danielle. You were going to say something, right? You look like you were about to. Okay.
I can share. So I don't have anything like written down. It's somewhere else. But so for me, like everyone else has already talked about, a lot of those takeaways are the same for me. Being yourself and sharing more, I think, about like the boring stuff of life, of just your reality of what's happening, like your reality TV show. And I know I've heard that so many times, but for me, it just kind of clicked, especially with Snapchat. I was anti-Snapchat as well, but I've fallen in love with it because it's just like, this is me. This is what I do. Like, yes, I'm at work. Yes, I'm driving. Like, no big deal. Anyways, okay. But the other thing that really stuck out to me was the point of just being a freaking coach. Like, I think a lot of times, and I'm talking about where they talked about challenge groups, where it was, if someone asks you to be their coach, then you better contact them if they're not posting in your challenge group. You better reach out to them and say, where the heck are you? And are you going to do this because you said you wanted to? And if not, then peace out and we'll meet back up when you're ready. And so I said that kind of in a mean way, but I know, it's to help them. And I think that also goes for our coaches too. And that a lot of times we're just like, well, whenever you want to hit your goals, like, screw that. Like, we have coaches and they trusted in us as their mentors, and our challengers trust in us as their coaches. And we have to step up and be like, this is what you said you wanted. You have to do it. And are you going to meet me halfway? I'll run if you run. So that was just one of my big takeaways.
I love it. And so from here, like the rest of the call, I kind of wanted to focus on like, where do you go from here, right? Because if you listen to all of us, like every single one of us had something different that we took away from the event, right? So if you weren't there, you missed out on whatever that message would have been for you. And so I'm going to go back to my presentation here because I have some more slides about like kind of what to do next. So just a second. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Okay, I'm just not gonna go into the presenting mode so that I can still see you guys. But next thing, you need to be at Super Saturday, because these same kind of takeaways that you might have gotten from this call, or if you had gone to Summit, you will have those kind of aha moments at your Super Saturday. And the next one is Saturday, although depending on where you live, it might be on Friday night or it might be on Sunday morning, but whenever it is, whatever's the closest one to you, you need to get to it because it will motivate you and lift you up. The team cut, it's already started, but definitely take that and run with it. And put in the work to meet with your team, to set goals and shoot for them, because that will give you momentum going into the fall of this year. I'm not going to go over the rules because I know that you guys should know them. And if you don't, that's in the office as well. We have a lot of great things that are on promotion this year, this month. I have never seen this many challenge packs on promo. So, Beachbody is serious about helping you reach your goals. They've given you all of these tools. So many things that you can take in to your target market. And then I kind of want to spend the most time on this one. You need to be at the Platinum Edge. Like, I don't care what reason you're saying you can't be there. If I had to choose one event that I went to all year, I would choose Platinum Edge over every other event. Success Club trip, that's super fun. I love Success Club trip. But it's just fun. The Summit was great. I'm totally motivated. But I feel like at Summit, they give you this big picture like, yes, go home, work harder, do that. But then you go to Platinum Edge and they said, okay, they told you to work harder. Now here's exactly what you're going to do. And they give you those step-by-step things laid out. And I've always felt like I come home from Summit with an actual strategy. And I think it's because it's our team. If you're not familiar with what the Platinum Edge is, the very top of our upline, above Tara and above Lauren, if you go all the way up, the top of our upline is Christine Dwyer. And so she has this team, Platinum Presenters. We are all a part of it. She is the only coach in the network that does this standalone conference. And on her team, out of, I think there's 37 15-star diamonds, 28 of them are Platinum Presenters. That's like 2/3 of them. And they are at this event and they are sharing with you all of their tips. And they are so open to share because it's all our team, right? We all benefit each other. And so it's a really, really amazing event. And like, just be there. Whatever you can do to be there, be there. Also, if this isn't one of your goals, you need to make it one of your goals. The New Leader Conference in January, or just kidding, this year it's in February. New Leader Conference in February. You have time still to qualify for that. And so I haven't been to the New Leader Conference. That's something that came out after, like I was no longer eligible to qualify for it because I've already been to the regular leadership. But I know that it will be valuable for you and benefit your business. And I don't know, Ashley, I know you went last year, and Annie, if you guys want to share something about how that was beneficial to your business and whether or not that's a goal that you would recommend pushing for. Okay, Ashley's nodding, so we'll just go with that.
I was gonna say, do you want me to say something? I'm just gonna say, just do it. Go for it. It's a really good. I love that conference because I've never been to leadership, but I loved that it was all people who are right at my level. Where I think leadership's 5-star to like 15-star, or whoever else. Like these were all people who were new leaders, and I just felt like it spoke to where we were and helped us get to where we wanted to go. So I really liked it. Plus, like, staying in a hotel by myself, like I go to these events and like you're staying with like, I think there was 5 of us in our room at Summit, but like I had a room all to myself with a king bed. I didn't have kids. Like that alone was worth the trip in my opinion, but not to mention all the other stuff that we got too.
Well, it's such a cool thing because you, I just totally lost what I was going to say. Never mind. I don't know why it's such a cool thing. I can't remember what I was going to say. But anyways, it's a really good goal. I remember what I was going to say. Even if you don't, like, even if you say, okay, I want to go to the New Leader Conference, I'm going to make that my goal, and you don't get to it, guess what? In December, you're going to be a whole lot closer to that goal than you would be if you were just like, well, maybe next year. I'm not ready for that yet. My goal is diamond. I'm not going to shoot for above diamond this year. If you make your goal 2-star diamond because you want to be at the leader conference and you're going to get those 30 points, then you're going to be a whole lot closer to getting that goal than if you just say maybe next year.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think it's really cool because you get to go to Beachbody headquarters, and I really liked that. That was something that I really enjoyed, like touring around and meeting people and seeing like behind the scenes. So for me, that part was cool too.
Awesome. And then the last thing is Summit next year is going to be in New Orleans. If you are not registered, hold on, I'm going to stop this because you don't really need to see this slide, but raise your hand if you are already registered for Summit for next year. Actually, raise your hand if you're not, because I'm going to call you out. I'm going to say, why? Why are you not registered? You have a whole year. You have 1 whole year. If something happens, like, maybe your husband gets deployed, maybe you end up being pregnant and that's your due date, those kind of things can happen. They have transferable tickets. So you can gift that to a coach on your team who will come back fired up if you can't go for any reason. But you have a whole year right now. There is no reason that you can't say that you will be at Summit next year. And if what you're thinking right now is, well, I don't know if I'm going to still be a coach next year, then just don't. Just quit. Because if that's your mindset, you won't be here next year. You need to say, I'm 100% in and I will be at that event next year and I am buying my ticket right now, no matter what. But if that's not where you are, then you might as well just walk away because you're not going to, you don't have any skin in the game. You're not going to take this serious and you're not going to get to that next level. So, okay, that's all I got tonight. If anybody else wants to unmute or ask a question or throw something else out there, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll say goodbye to you all. Okay. Thank you guys for, Oh, wait, Ashley says
I just had to say to those of you that I got to see at Summit, like that's my funnest part. That's the best takeaway is like just being together as a team. So get to events, get to Platinum Edge, because being together is so fun. Like it's so fun. Like that's the best part. Hugging everybody and seeing them in person is so fun.
I agree. Okay, have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
I can do better.